Headlines. 3 African presidents Friday arrived Uyo for inauguration of Akwa Ibom Stadium. President Goodluck Jonathan inaugurates Akwa Ibom Stadium. And Governor Godswill Akpabio swears in 7 new High Court judges. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. So, good morning and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Sam Odofia. President Goodluck Jonathan, alongside his counterparts from Ghana, Dr. John Mahama, and Côte d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, arrived Uyo yesterday for the inauguration of the Akwa Ibom Stadium. Governor Godswill Akpabio, his wife, and Unorma Kaita Akpabio, and Deputy Governor Lady Valerie Abe, National and State House of Assembly members, as well as members of the State Executive Council, were at the Igbo International Airport to receive them. Fortune Omoshola led AKBC 45 News crew to the airport to capture the event.
Journalists and the heavy security presence at the Ibom International Airport confirmed the expectation of star attractions expected to witness the inauguration of the stadium. At about 12:50 p.m., the presidential jet conveying Dr. Goodluck Jonathan and his team of top-notch officials arrived the waiting arms of Governor Godswill Akpabio and his entourage, which are the former governor and senators representing the state. 45 minutes later, the president of Côte d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, and his Ghanaian counterpart, Dr. John Mahama, flew simultaneously into the airport tarmac and were warmly received by their hosts. The ultra-modern stadium in Uyo was the destination point where the international edifice was to be inaugurated. Governor Godswill Akpabio in an interview said the inauguration of the stadium was a sign of good things to come, which should also include execution of an international hospital before the inception of the next administration. We are hoping that will now become a lot of not just arena for sports. In separate interviews, the Minister of Sports, Tammy Danagogo, Senator Ellen Eswene, and the Chairman of the State PDP, Mr. Paul Airport, reflected on the need to maintain high standards in the usage of the multi-billionaire sporting bowl.
Event to bring people together in a joyous mood, and I feel very proud and appreciate it in the right place. I know that this project will take Akwa Ibom to another level.
It shows that
one thing for sure was not left out of the arrival ceremony: a thrilling band of dancers and trumpeters who lavishly entertained the visitors, and more enthralling, the wife of the governor, Mrs. Kaita Akpabio, weeks in full.
Thank you, Fortune. Thousands of people who could not gain access to the Akwa Ibom Stadium complex chose to converge on the popular Ibom Plaza in Uyo to follow what was happening at the stadium from the giant screen provided by the state government. Correspondent Livingstone Daniel, who arrived at the plaza at about 4 o'clock in the evening, observed that giant speakers were also provided at strategic corners at the plaza. Those at the plaza were mostly youths, while hawkers abandoned their wares and retired to the arena to share in the fun. In an interview, some football enthusiasts expressed appreciation to the state government for the gesture. Yesterday was November 7, 2014, a day many Akwa Ibomites will never forget, as the ultra-modern Akwa Ibom International Stadium was inaugurated by President Goodluck Jonathan. The stadium, indeed a pride of all Akwa Ibomites, with a seating capacity of 30,000, was filled to the brim with excited Nigerians who came from all over the world to witness the epoch-making event. Constructed by Julius Berger, the stadium is the brainchild of the Akpabio administration and is intended to help encourage sports development in the state and indeed the country. Also in attendance at the event were the presidents of Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, and that of Ghana, Dr. John Mahama, the PDP national chairman, and a former president of Ghana, President Jerry Rawlings. Eulogizing the state governor and the remarkable ambience of the stadium and spate of development in the state, President Goodluck Jonathan noted that since 1999, never has a state in Nigeria hosted 3 presidents all at once, and commended Governor Akpabio on his remarkable and land-breaking achievements in Akwa Ibom in the area of state development and for being a torchbearer of the PDP as a working party in Africa. He acknowledged the foresight of Governor Akpabio in laying a solid foundation for the youth development in sports by reason of the stadium edifice. In a friendly engagement, the Nigerian under-23 defeated their Ghanaian counterparts by a lone goal. The event was covered on Super Sports Live, Silverbirds, AIT, and the NTA International. Details of the inauguration and video footages will be brought to you in a subsequent bulletin. President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan yesterday inaugurated the Akwa Ibom Stadium, accompanied by the President of Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, and his Ghanaian counterparts, Dr. John Mahama. They were ushered into the arena amidst cheers by an appreciative crowd, with Governor Godswill Akpabio. National anthem of Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Nigeria were rendered by Akwa Ibom indigenous artists, while the President Emeritus of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, Dr. Sunday Mbam, offered the opening prayer. Details will be brought to you in a subsequent bulletin. Governor Godswill Akpabio has charged High Court judges in the state not to allow the judiciary to be seen as a place where justice can be delayed. Chief Akpabio gave the charge Thursday while swearing in 7 newly appointed state High Court judges at Government House, Uyo. Adam Asamaye was there.
Governor Akpabio particularly urged the new High Court judges not to pervert the course of justice, but to approach their assignments with enthusiasm to complement the democratic experience in the state. Chief Akpabio stated that it is only when judges demonstrate neutrality while resolving disputes using constitutional principles that they will justify their rules as impartial arbiters and umpires. He reminded the new judges that their new assignments require hard work, high level of knowledge, wisdom, constant research, commitment, and fairness. While congratulating the hierarchy of the judiciary on the caliber of appointees, the governor also wished the new appointees well as they march on to serve the states in a higher capacity.
You may not be the best of friends to even your family members who may want to twist the law to favor them. You don't have to eat in any restaurant because you don't know whether there's significance before you that owns that restaurant. You cannot attend parties so that nobody gives you a check that will end up looking at judge. It's a great privilege for you to exercise the authority that comes from God Almighty. My prayer is that as you are taking the oath today, you do the right thing, may God be on your side. And when God is with you, no man can be against you.
The new High Court judges are Justice Okonopan Okonu, Iniabasi Udobong, Felicitas Joshua Ibanga, Winifred Iniabong Okpabio, Ntong Fesus Ntong, Iborini Upana, and Justice Gabriel Francis Ete.
The judiciary in the state has organized a public lecture as part of activities for the opening of the 2014-2015 legal year. The lecture was attended by the state chief judge, judges of the High Court, resource persons and friends of the bar and bench. Eyano Paul now reports.
Lecture way an appraisal of the procedural rules, settlement of disputes using ADR mechanisms, as well as child trafficking and sexual violence against children. Delivering the first lecture on civil procedure rules of 2009, Michael Zokome, SAN, said it is notorious that the system of adjudication is fraught with a lot of procedural technicalities, which in turn create obstacles to fast and effective dispensation of justice. Barrister Zokome said the demand for justice is a quest for fairer and qualitative justice, stressing that the observance of civil law reform should be sensitive to global changes.
Judiciary will continue to stand at the last place of the bulwark against executive lawlessness, against legislative rascality. Then we will have a better country. And the judiciary must refuse to be calm.
The multi-door court, Mrs. Caroline Etuk, in its use, lawyers and clients for mediation legal for which also can gathers.
Frank Manda, who is the founder of the multi-door courthouse system, said one thing. He said, what this is all about is to keep the forum to the fore. In other words, only cases that should go to area should go to area. And matters that should be litigated by the court should be litigated by the court. And the court must make pronouncement on those matters.
Violence against children, modern-day slavery and criminal, which subject victims to emotional. The lecture emphasized that the state judiciary should collaborate with relevant stakeholders to develop social protection mechanisms for children in the state.
Sexual violence is very prevalent. If you rape an adult woman, you can say she wanted it. She said yes to me, she said no, she said yes. I was confused. That's like 20 times. But how about a 45-year-old man raping a 5-year-old child? It's happening every day.
The lowered the resource for to matters affecting the law and society. Demiswa said activities for the celebration have been lined up, which will be of interest to participants, and urge members of the bar and bench to make judicial use of the opportunity.
Sensitize lawyers and other people to the fact that the ADR, that is alternative dispute resolution, and that is faster than litigation, formal litigation in court, and that it is always an option that should be explored to make delivery of justice faster.
According to the judge, the celebration of the 2014-2015 legal year activities in the state will be rounded up on 17th November 2014 with a service. Iyageno reporting.
Thank you, Eyano. You're watching AKBC TV News at dawn. More news after the break. Stay with us.
My challenge to the Akwa Ibom youth today is to rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. Rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. There must be sustainability. So for me as a governor, I'm charging Akwa Ibom children. The future belongs to you. Your fathers have done their bit. Rise up and protect your future. Bring a governor that will bring industrialization. Bring a governor that will bring progress. Bring a governor that will bring development. Not the one that goes on ethnic cleavage. Not the one that goes to bring tribalism. Not the one that gangs up with elders and wants to come through the window. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate our dear President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for the endorsement given to him by the National Executive Committee of our party as the sole candidate in 2015 presidential election. I want to thank the people of Nigeria for recognizing that leadership comes from God, and God gives it to whom He pleases. So I stand with my dear President so that he will succeed for my children to have Nigeria tomorrow. I thank Nigeria for supporting Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
You're still watching AKBC 45 News at dawn, and I'm Sam Udofia. 2,522 core members comprising 984 males and 848 females have been deployed to Akwa Ibom State for the 2014 Batch C of the National Youth Service Corps scheme. Declaring the orientation course of the core members open at the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp, Ikoritirum, in Nsiratai local government area, Governor Godswill Akpabio pledged his administration's commitment to the welfare of core members as evidenced in the increase of their monthly allowances from 6,800 naira to 10,000 naira. The story is here presented.
Core members who are doctors and pharmacists have been placed on special preference allowance scale. He charged the core members to reciprocate the gesture by being disciplined and dedicated to duty. Governor Akpabio, who was represented by the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Samonde Bonguko, described the NYSC scheme as a catalyst for accelerated national integration and development. He emphasized that youth core members have an important role to play in shaping the corporate destiny of the country, acknowledging that the scheme has done a lot in curbing ethnicity, sectionalism, and tribalism. The state, he said, was proud of the huge successes and great achievements the scheme has recorded since inception. He also noted that the physical and psychological training during camping was capable of instilling in them the requisite and selling qualities of discipline, perseverance, and the ability to live peacefully with people from different parts of the country.
I encourage you all to take with utmost seriousness this national clarion call to selfless service. The future of our country lies in your hands. You have an important role to play in shaping our corporate destiny. You must live up against this unique opportunity, and you must not strain your responsibility towards our fatherland.
Also speaking, the chairman, NYSC Governing Board and Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Samonde Bonguko, welcomed the core members to the state and expressed confidence that the uncommon transformation drive of the present administration will continue to favor the NYSC. Mr. Uko, whose address was read by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Ime Umodio, enumerated the gains of the NYSC and advised core members deployed to the state to see the orientation course as an opportunity to exhibit attitudes consistent with their status as graduates. Earlier, the state coordinator of the NYSC, Lady Ngozi Chukuma, thanked the state government for its assistance in the area of feeding and camp maintenance of core members. She stated that the orientation will expose core members to skills and ideas that will reposition them to become self-employed.
The State Accountant General, Mr. Udo Isobara, has charged accountants involved in public sector financial management across the state to play leading roles among other professionals in digital transactions. This they could do by rising to the challenge posed by the knowledge and concept of e-banking in the country. He was speaking at a 2-day sensitization training workshop organized by his office in collaboration with Victor Eme and Company Chartered Accountants for treasurers and heads of accounts. He challenged them to be knowledgeable in the e-payment model used by banks such as InterSwitch, Nigeria Interbank Settlement Service (NIBSS), National Electronic Fund Transfer (NEFT), and Real-Time Gross Settlement (RTGS). Mr. Isobara stated that the time of the workshop was apt, since participants could be sensitized on the dynamics affecting public sector financial management, even as the state was transiting from the generally accepted accounting principle GAAP to the International Public Sector Accounting Standards (IPSAS). He asked public sector accountants to embrace the training opportunity offered by the Akpabio administration through the establishment of an ICT resource center by making themselves ICT compliant so as to keep abreast with modern techniques of using computers in their official duties.
Public sector accountants is to train and retrain them on the dynamics affecting the public sector financial management.
The lead consultant, Sir Victor Eme, thanked the Accountant General for finding his firm worthy to handle the workshop. Sir Eme attested to the competence of the resource persons and sued for maximum cooperation and commitment on the part of the participants so as to justify the huge investment of state government.
Development of skills become a priority. You know who to send for training. You know who to counsel. You know who to send to do what, and who not to send to do what at that stage, if you are the team leader.
As preparations for the 2015 general elections gather momentum, more groups and individuals have identified with the aspiration of the immediate past secretary to the state government, Mr. Udom Emmanuel. The latest are the people of Ikorekpene Urban, Ward 4, in Ikorekpene local government area, who made their declaration when the member State Council on the prerogative of mercy and an indigene of the area, Otuekong Anthony Akpan, hosted them. The people unanimously declared their support for the President Jonathan re-election, Governor Akpabio's Senate aspiration, and Mr. Udom Emmanuel as the next governor of the state. Among those who spoke was the People's Democratic Party chairman of Ward 4, Mr. Godwin Udodo, a youth leader, Mr. Aniebet Joseph, and Akwa Bongwan Christiana Ebinda. They stressed the need for love, unity and togetherness among youths in the area to ensure continued growth. The chairman on the occasion, Ubong Umoina, thanked the hosts for the initiative to bring the people together for the overall good of the area and expressed the hope that the meeting will serve as a platform to attract more development to the ward. In his remarks, Otuekong Anthony Akpan, who is a former board member of the Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, described the meeting as a way of appreciating the people for the support extended to him. While thanking Governor Goswell Akpabio for his benevolence to the people of Ikorekpene Ward 4, Otuekong Akpan reiterated the resolve of the people to ensure Mr. Udom Emmanuel's success at the polls. The people announced Otuekong Anthony Akpan as a leader of the ward. The Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem ICT Resource Center, set up at the NUJ Press Center Information Drive of IBB Way, Uyo, has been inaugurated. The inauguration was performed by the facilitator of the center and Commissioner for Special Duties, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem. Livingston Daniel takes it from there.
The center is equipped with 10 computers, 2 LCD flat-screen television sets, as well as 1 photocopying machine. Inaugurating the center, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem said his decision to facilitate the setting up of the center is to help journalists in the state have unhindered access to computers so as to be ICT compliant. He noted that the practice of journalism in the developed world has completely gone digital, hence the need for their counterparts in the state to be in tune. Barrister Noidem advised journalists against false reportage, but to uphold the tenets of profession, and thanked the leadership of the state NUJ for naming the ICT Resource Center after him.
Very courageously that his tenure has brought the NUJ very closely to the government of Akwa Ibom State. That is how it should be. The NUJ must work as a partner in progress to the government. Not necessarily sheepishly, but of course positively.
The Commissioner for Information and Communication, Mr. Onyeka Numana, represented by the Director of Technical Services in the Ministry, Mr. Inyang Jameson, appreciated Barrister Noidem for equipping the center. He expressed the hope that the center will enhance the work of media practitioners in the state, but charged practicing journalists to take full advantage of the center.
I therefore urge all of us to take full advantage of this project, and so that we can keep ourselves abreast with the information age. Now that implies that if you are not ICT compliant today, then it is very, very necessary that you do something about it.
The Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Elder Patrick Albert said, it cannot be overemphasized that information gathering and dissemination in today's age require ICT facilities. Therefore, the birth of the resource center is greatly cherished. He thanked Barrister Noidem for responding to the appeal of the NUJ to fund the ICT project. Elder emphasized that in the act of magnanimity, Barrister Emmanuel Noidem and the NUJ decided to name the facility after him.
This, as we have been told, is made possible by a great son of Akwa Ibom State, Barrister Emmanuel Noidem, Honorable Commissioner for Special Duties at Akwa Ibom State, who responded to our appeal to fund the project.
You're watching AKBC 45 News at dawn. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45Uyo or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. That's our package. Now on the top stories. 3 African presidents yesterday arrived Uyo for the inauguration of the Akwa Ibom Stadium. They were President Goodluck Jonathan of Nigeria, Alassane Ouattara of Cote d'Ivoire, and Dr. John Mahama of Ghana. President Goodluck Jonathan has inaugurated the Akwa Ibom Stadium. At the ceremony, national anthems of Nigeria, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire were rendered by indigenous artists. AKBC TV News will bring you details of the event in our subsequent bulletin. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Good morning.